Good morning and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Paul. Today I'm going to take you on a little ride around the local area. Should only take about an hour. It's not a particularly fast route, but hopefully you'll find it interesting. And I'm going to point out a few celebrity homes and interesting properties around this loop, starting in Chesham, going out to sort of little Chalfont St Giles, Beaconsfield, and then back to Amersham. Okay, so this is the start of the route. We've just entered Waterside in Chesham, which leads out to the Latimer Road, and the first place we're going to drive past is the Latimer Estate. And once we get a bit nearer, I'll let voiceover man do his bit and give you a bit of history. As this is fairly residential through here, I will catch up with you in a minute. I'm sure the roads in your area are pretty bad, but these are horrendous down here, especially in that centre gully. Anyway, in this video I've lifted the front screen right up, hoping to improve the sound quality. So we're just getting out of this is the outskirts of Chesham. So the first place we come to, as I say, is it's the Latimer Estate, where Latimer House is based, and voiceover man will give you the detail on it and its history. You won't be able to see a lot. I'm just pointing it out because it's quite a notable building in this area with quite a notable history, but it's sat back from the road up on the hill to my left hand side. When we get further down this road I'll point it out, but in the height of summer the hedges are so high you can't really see it, and I'm not going to drive up there. It's a hotel now, so thank you, sir. And there seems to be on my approach to this route, I found quite a lot of gravel on the roads. I think it must have had a bit of an overnight rainstorm or something. So I'm not going to go banzai into the corners on this loop, I don't think. So from here on it's sort of Latimer Road. Down here to my left is the Chess River, from whence Chesham gets its name apparently. Used to be a notable area for growing cress. So Chesham, Chess, cress. Don't know where. Anyway, thought you might like to know that. So this is all part of the Latimer Estate along here, which is mostly farming land now. It's voiceover man again. Latimer House. So standing behind these hedges on my left and up on the hillside is the local landmark of Latimer House, which sits within the Latimer Estate. It's difficult to see from here, so I'll drop a picture in here somewhere. The first mention of a manor house at Latimer was recorded as early as 1194 AD. The estate was then passed down to families of English nobility before becoming a top secret centre for military intelligence during World War II. And then in the 1950s the property became the home of the British military's National Defence College. Today it forms part of the De Vere Hotel Group. So we're going to take a turn here, up to the right, up this hill. Usually nice and gravelly. Can't remember the name of this one. So we're now coming up into Little Chalfont, which sort of sits between, well, it's not Little Chalfont mainly, it's Little Chalfont Common, I think they call this, which is located between Amersham and Little Chalfont village itself. Voiceover man will give you the whole SP on this, but the first home we're coming to is Ozzy and Sharon Osborne's. I believe it was their first home in this area. I'm going to show you the second one after this, but it's their first home, which is up here just across near the junction of the road we're heading to. I'll have to crack this visor for a bit of fresh air, but I'll try and pull in. Some of these are a bit difficult to stop directly outside of, but we'll give it a go. Over to voiceover man. So Beel House, you'll see standing back from the road a large security gate, and there's CCTV cameras down the lane which offer some seclusion to Beel House. It was supposedly built for the Duke of Buckingham in the 1600s, and the home stands in 13.5 acres of grounds. Former owners of the property have included matinee idol Dirk Bogarde, TV host Robert Kilroy Silk, movie director Basil Dearden, even the composer Matt Aitken, best known as the creative force behind the 1980s songwriting trio of stock Aitken and Wortman, and more recently the first local home of Ozzy and Sharon Osborne. Infamously, the local police were called to this home by Sharon after Ozzy had reportedly tried to strangle her when under the influence of something, allegedly. So that is the entrance, those white gates there, to Beel House. Fairly innocuous hidden little entrance driveway there. There is a smaller, more discreet entrance from another road nearby, but I'll not reveal that locality here. Let's press on. So this is called White Lion Road, Little Chalfont. So the next road we're going to is called Nightingales Lane, which is up here to the mini roundabout turn right, and it's quite a reputation for nice homes in nice sized grounds, and therefore attracts people looking for their privacy. But I'll do my best and try and stop where I can, but there aren't many pulling over places, there's just driveways really. Little Chalfont parade here of shops, and the the main line train station is just down there straight ahead at that roundabout. Voiceover man. Nightingales Lane, it's quite a busy road actually between Little Chalfont and Chalfont St Giles, but most of the homes, the adjoining lane, private roads, are always in demand from well-heeled buyers looking for character homes in large private grounds. These properties sometimes come to the market via estate agents, but more often than not deals are privately arranged within celebrity circles. here on my right hand side is a substantial home called Five Diamonds. No celebrity ownership here that I know of, but as you probably worked out, it was apparently renamed due to a hand of cards that won it from its former owner. And on my left is the Nightingales estate, from where the road name comes from. I'll slow down because Five Diamonds is here on the right hand side. I can't remember exactly which home it is. This is the Five of Diamonds in here. I can't stop, it's right on this corner. Pollard's Park, some massive homes down there. This is a rather pretty thatched cottage here. And the next one we're going to come to is Noel Gallagher's house, which is just in here, the Sheiling there. So it's an entrance driveway and security gate to the Sheiling, or Sheiling, to the Sheiling. Originally it was designed and built in 1907 for the architect James Edwin Forbes, apparently. So there are very few contemporary photographs of the house from within the grounds. Owned in the late 1990s by Noel Gallagher and during the period of his marriage to Meg Matthews. Noel Gallagher then sold the property in about 2005 to Dario Franchetti MBE. He's the Scottish former racing driver and current motorsport commentator, as he's a 4-time IndyCar Series champion, a 3-time winner of the Indianapolis 500, as well as a winner of the 24 Hours of Daytona. Right, let's move on down the road and see a few tubular bells. Just round this corner is Mike Oldfield's own old home. First property here is the sort of gatehouse to it, just there. Well, I'm just going to pull in on the driveway here, just to get out of the way of these cars. So it's voiceover man again. This was, until fairly recently, the long-term home of the Tubular Bells composer Mike Oldfield. During his time in this house he built a studio and updated much of the property, but I believe he now enjoys life in the sunny climes of the Bahamas and has sold this property on. So there's some lovely homes down here. If you win the lottery, even though it's quite a busy road, I don't know why it's so famous. I mean, there's quite a lot of little lanes and things off this road where there must be some homes that I'm not even aware of, like this little lane here, which is just an unmade road, but it goes down to several properties there. But then you've got the more ostentatious ones. This one coming up on my left hand side, I bought a car from here once, and that's rather lovely in there behind those gates, all securityed up. What's going on here? I haven't had much good weather actually to get out for a ride and do some filming since the bike magazine Glorious Ride vid that hopefully you've seen. Now this comes out on the A413, which runs between Amersham, over on my right hand side, to Chalfont St Peter over on my left hand side. So here we are, this is the junction with the A413. Might as well ride round the green actually, give you a chance to slow it right down, and voiceover man can give you some information about the village. Voiceover man again here. not. I think it's probably one of the prettiest villages in Buckinghamshire, to be honest. I worked here during the late 1990s, and the TV comedy writer Armando Iannucci, the man behind The Thick of It and many other well-known programmes, used to live here. Not sure if he still does. Sir Nick Clegg, former leader of the Lib Dems, was born in Chalfont St Giles as well. So just a bit further up the road here we've got the 17th century Milton's Cottage. It's the only surviving home of the poet and parliamentarian John Milton, and the place where he completed the famous Paradise Lost. It's due to reopen to the public in 2021, but I think it's still closed at the moment. Just up here is John Milton's cottage. Just after these flashing lights here on the left hand side, you can see this signage up on it here. To my left, that's Milton's cottage. Don't think they're open again yet. Have a look on their website. Right, we'll take a little ride to Ozzy and Sharon Osborne's second home in the area, which was purchased after his notorious incidents in the home we rode past earlier. Take a left here along Nightingales Lane. What nice weather, 19 degrees. It was looking a bit overcast earlier when I started. Decided to put on one of my Triumph jackets rather than the Rucker jacket today, because that Rucker one is so heavy and does get so hot. It's got very little ventilation on it, and I thought, oh, I came across this one. I did a clear out the other day. I thought I stopped wearing it really because it's just not rain. Well, it's got one of those inners that you can put into it, but who can be asked to do that? That's why I bought the Rucker, really, for touring purposes. This is the back way between Chalfont St Giles and Chalfont St Peter, which is just down here, and that's where Ozzy and Sharon bought the next home. This was after all of that mayhem with him getting arrested at Amersham after going out drinking at the, well, no, he wasn't out drinking, apparently they all went to the local Chinese restaurants and he got bladdered, but he was also on some pills, I believe. So they looked for another home, and Sharon chose this one because it's about the furthest home she could find available from a public house. Right, here we go, Chalfont St Peter. Now I don't like going down this road, this lane too much. It's a single lane, so it's an absolute bugger if you come across people, and because it rarely gets any sunshine, it's usually mucky as hell. I came down here the other day just to test it out, and it was dry, but that was before these recent rain showers we've had over the last sort of 7 to 10 days. So this is Welders Lane here on my right hand side, and just have a look. Let's turn that one on. Just have a look at, I'll go slowly so you can just have a look at some of these homes down here. There we go. How nice is that one with the thatched roof? So it's voiceover man again here, so I'll try to slow down and pull over to show you Welders House on my left hand side. Standing behind these massive security gates with CCTV cameras everywhere, and this is a grade 2 listed house. I'll splice in a picture from above. Originally it was built in the late 1890s, and it stands in an estate of about 100 acres. The two-time Academy Award-winning special effects legend John Steers sold Welders House to Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne in 1993 apparently. I don't think they still own it now, but it's difficult to know for sure. This was the location of Ozzy's ill-fated quad bike incident, where he hurt himself pretty severely. It's unusual to get too much traffic down here actually, but when you do, don't know why you'd buy a home down here, to be honest. So this is the entrance here. Let me just put the brake on a minute. There we go. You can probably see it better like that. So these are the security gates to Welders House. Right, onwards. While they were there, they created a driveway, I think I've said in the voiceover, down through their fields, which comes out right down the bottom here, on the bottom lane. Because who would want to come in and out that one? And the other one sort of shares its driveway with another home down here, so I suppose it could confuse the paparazzi as to who's coming and going if you share a driveway. So we get to the bottom here, we're just going to hang a left and then a right into Longbottom Lane. So just before this white van there's a driveway that leads into a home, and I believe that's where they share the driveway now. Right, Longbottom Lane, not many homes, but another nice area down here. Just butts onto a village called Sear Green. Oh, they do call this bit Sear Green. Having lived in the area all this time, I never think of this bit as Sear Green itself. I suppose the environs of Sear Green village is up this right hand junction here. Yeah, check some of these houses out on the right hand side. See if I can swing that round. The last 2 or 3 properties along this road here before we hit the Amersham Beaconsfield Road are particularly massivo. I'll swing this round again actually. Oh my god, what are they doing up here? Oh, they must be doing some filming or something. There are, this first one here, I've been into this house to pick up one of their Mercedes at one stage in the past. And this next one here with all the tall pines, been into that one. Huge grounds there, as you can see, separate property to the main home. Look how manicured all of the lawns are here. And then there's another home here on the corner on this right hand side, the last one, quite hidden as well. So we turn left here in the direction of Bekonsfield. I'm going to take you up this way. It's a bit of a long loop round, to be honest, but the advantage is that I can show you what's going on here. Not more traffic lights. Oh god. Show you the Beaconsfield Old Town, which is one of the oldest markets in the UK. I think it's the 4th most expensive market town in the UK. I'll say this jacket is nice and light and keeping me nice and cool. Haven't even opened the vents yet. That's the difference with this one. It's got myriad of vents on it. It's got 2 massive slashes down the front. It's got up underneath the arms, on your sort of lower arms as well. So we turn right here into Old Bekonsfield. A couple of days every year they set up a historic fair in the high street here, and they just block this whole area off. Oh, Ferrari something or other. The McLaren sort of rusty colour. Worth a wander up here, have a look at some of the shops, restaurants, pubs, houses. Very pretty. As you can see, it's nice and wide, sort of typical coaching high street really of these old towns around here. We're going to take a right and go down here to what we call the new town, New Bekonsfield. Again, I've worked here. I worked here for about a year, so I know the area pretty well. Right, voiceover man again here. Here on my right hand side is the National Film and Television School. This was established in 1971 and listed in the top 15 international film schools. Of course, many past students of the National Film and Television School have gone on to win Oscars, BAFTAs and Emmys, as well as the film festival prizes from around the world. Bekonsfield is very popular, because the M40 is only just about half a mile down the road. Jump on that and you can be to central London in a very short time. More character than Gerrards Cross is also another expensive area around here. That's only just down the road, Gerrards Cross, but a bit nouveau riche in my opinion. This is the shopping area of Beaconsfield New Town. So, how many of you have been to Bekonscot Model Village? I'm just going to take you past it. So we're going over the railway line here, direct rail line station into London. So turn right here. Bekonscot is just down here on the left hand side. There's a car park there if you want to park up and go inside. This is the entrance to it just here. Voiceover man again here. So here on my left hand side is the entrance to the Bekonscot Model Village, which many of us would have visited in our youth, no doubt. It's the oldest original model village in the world, portraying aspects of England mostly dating from the 1930s. It was created in the 1920s by the owner Roland Callingham, who was an accountant by trade. He developed a master plan for his miniature empire as an addition to his large back garden, drawing in help from his staff, the gardener, cook, maid and chauffeur. Staff, those were the days, eh? I better check the batteries actually. That one's still going, so let's just get down here. Voiceover man here. Here on my left hand side is the gatehouse and the driveway to Wilton Place. Again, I can't really show you a great deal of the property because it stands so far back from the road. Gatehouse etc. provides maximum privacy via these security gates, CCTV, and a long driveway to the main residence and massive grounds on the outskirts of Beaconsfield. This is the UK home to Barry Gibb of Bee Gees fame and his family, although they spend more time in the warmer weather offered by their home in Florida these days apparently. Right, vents open, batteries changed. Press on. Turn left and we'll head down to Old Amersham. There's a couple of homes I'd like to show you. I don't know if I'll be able to get much of a view from the road because they're absolute sods to stop in front of. But I'll do my best. Voiceover man, tell us about the next property up here. I'll try to slow down and show you on my left hand side the gated entrance and long winding driveway to the main residence grounds of the Grange, previously owned by the former Chelsea Football Club chairman Ken Bates. This 250 acre estate on the outskirts of Beaconsfield is now home to Lord Paul, one of the richest peers in the House of Lords. Let's quickly pull in here. Managed it. There we go. That's the entrance to the next one. Here, I'm going to take you down to the old Amersham town. Hugely historic, and Voiceover man will give you a bit more information when we get down there, but sit back and enjoy this little ride for a few minutes. Quick thank you to all of my recent subscribers. Thank you very much indeed, much appreciated. Still only a small channel at the moment, but I'm trying to grow it, trying to add more content as I can. I don't think there's going to be much touring stuff until next year, but let's see if I can get something, see if I can get a trip in this year somewhere. Until then, you'll have to put up with these ramblings, I'm afraid. Be interesting to see whether this is absolutely ignored and everybody switches off after 2 minutes, or whether they follow it through. So let's see what happens. I thought it might be interesting. You never know with these videos. You put something up on YouTube and you think, I've done a really good job there. Oh, let's close that vent so it stops noise. Done a really good job there, spent loads of time editing it, blah de blah, blah de blah de blah, and the response is lukewarm. Do something else where you rush it around and bang it out, and perhaps the content is just it captures some interest from somewhere. I don't know what it is. That's the whole thing with YouTube, really. I just keep doing what I like doing and filming my little rides, and if others like it, great. You know, thanks very much indeed. So a lot of controversy over this area at the moment. You've probably seen all of the local Chesham and Amersham elections in all of the newspapers, and it's a bit weird really, because the commentators seem to think that it's because of the HS2 project, which cuts through this area badly really. I mean, it chops straight through this valley from right to my left on its way up to Birmingham. Yet the Lib Dems who won actually backed it in Parliament, so I don't know what's going on there. Regardless of what they said, people locally have abandoned the Conservatives. They always used to say that this was Conservative country for about 47 years, and I'll steal this next quote out of one of the newspapers at the weekend, where they said it was always thought of as a very deeply Conservative area, so much so that you could propose a donkey and stick a blue ribbon on its backside and it would win for the Conservatives. Not anymore. Right, so let's turn left here into Old Amersham, and I'll slow down and you can see some of the pretty properties through here, and then we'll stop at the King's Arms. Again, they closed this down during the summer, and there's a 2-day, 3-day fair down here. Open my vent. So, voiceover man, King's Arms. Here on the left hand side is the King's Arms Hotel, and this historic inn was built in the 1400s. It's featured extensively in many TV and film productions, including hit film Four Weddings and a Funeral, Miss Marple, plus the TV series Midsummer Murders. It's also hosted many famous guests over the years, including Oliver Cromwell in his day. Right, let's move on let's head on through the rest of the town here. Some great pubs down here. Used to be a regular haunts down here. What's going on here? Let's go around there. Lovely little cottages down here. As you can see, parking's a bit of an issue though, and they don't come up for sale very often down here either. So the next place I'm going to take you to is just across the down the road here, which is the Shardeloes mansion, or Shardeloes estate, or Shardeloes house. I'll put it up on the thing. Now hopefully we can get in there. I used to go in there quite regularly because I used to deal with some of the apartments in here, and at that stage there wasn't a great deal of security, to be honest. It was just but let's see what's going on these days. I haven't actually tried to get in there recently, so I'll try and get you up to up the driveway to the house, because it's quite an interesting place. So it's straight across this roundabout. We're coming onto the sort of Amersham, Great Missenden bypassing bit. HS2 traffic all the way up here, so where it says straight across, no through road. Shardeloes. Let's see if it's an open gate. Yep. Voiceover man, go for it. I'm not entirely sure whether it was in the main building, but Sir Tim Rice, the lyricist and author, was apparently born here. The existing Palladian style building was with stable yard, extensive gardens, and the cricket green was constructed between 1758 and 1766 for William Drake Senior, a politician who sat in the House of Commons and eventually became the father of the house. Shardeloes was redeveloped during the 1970s into individual private apartments of various sizes. You can just imagine the carriages being drawn up here, can't you? Look at that view over the countryside, and that's where HS2 is coming right the way through this valley. I'll show you what they're doing further up the road from here. It says strictly private, but there's so many homes up here they wouldn't know who's coming or going most of the time, I don't think. How nice is that? I'll just turn around up here and then go back down again. lake down there, which hopefully you can see when I turn around. So these are all private homes up here. What a view, eh? The only downside with living up here is, well, two downsides really: buying them in the first place, and the maintenance, the monthly maintenance charges for the upkeep of everything. Really, it's just horrendous. They used to be absolute buggers to try and sell. Definitely a certain type of buyer who wants this. Right, I'm going to whip along the road and just take you through Great Missenden High Street, which you may know as the base for the Missenden Flyer, if you follow his channel. Right, so turn left here. Always do that. Turn right here. Okay. We'll just whip along here. There's lots of roadworks going on around here because of this HS2. So no point in going thrashing down here. There we go, look at this. How about that for a blot on the landscape? I mean, to be fair, eventually, you know, they've put a boring machine in there that's going to put a tunnel through here because of the amounts of protests that they had. But even so, these roadworks are, and it's going to go on for years. So how's that with the screen completely up? It's not great for me, but it might be better for the audio. Comments below. So we're just entering an area known as Deep Mill. We turn left here where it says Holmer Green, the King's Seals Chiltern Hospital. Or as it's known locally, the Chiltern Hilton, because of the quality of the food and menus that you can choose from. Okay, voiceover man, what can you tell us about Great Missenden? Voiceover man here. In 2019, the Great Missenden village was revealed to be the most affluent place in England, according to an article in The Guardian. The narrow and historic High Street is located in the heart of the picturesque Chilterns and only a short distance to the south of the Prime Minister's country residence at Chequers. The village is probably best known though as the home to the late Roald Dahl, the world famous adult and children's author. So turning here on the right, if you get the time, go down there and have a little wander around, take the sign up to the church, which is where Roald Dahl has been buried, I believe. But very pretty anyway, it's worth taking some pictures. This is the old High Street, as you've probably gathered. Again, there's mainline rail station straight into London from here. Thanks, sir. Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir. Cross Keys pub. Oh, drank a few beers in there in my time. Right, so this is so we're going to turn right here away from Great Missenden, back up to the A413, the Amersham to Aylesbury Road effectively. Take a right and then a left, so we'll head back on ourselves, but then a left towards Chesham. Another blessed entrance to, look at that, put permanent roadways in, they get so much traffic in there. Right, no more homes, just enjoy the ride. That's a shame, you can normally get a cheeky overtake in there before the hill. Oh. This is Hyde End, and then we go down into Old Chesham, which will be the end of our loop. Anyway, we'll call it a day from there. Thanks for watching. I hope you check out the other videos on my channel, and I'll see you again soon. So from Old Chesham, I'll say goodbye. Thank you.